Hello ratbags, it's Jade. Welcome to another Dauntless tutorial. Today we're going to be going through everything you need to know about cores and cells and basically how you can augment and power up your characters in Dauntless. If you find this video useful, make sure you like it and come and join my Discord where I've got a proper chat just for Dauntless so you can find people to play with, swap tips and generally just talk about this great free-to-play Monster Hunter style game. So today we are going to be taking a look at cores and cells and how you can really customise your character to have different style loadouts, not just based on their weapons but all the modifications you can do to armour and all of your weapons too. Just a little FYI as well, my guides are designed for people that really haven't got to grips with some of the aspects of Dauntless, so I'm going to be going through very basic stuff, but I am going to hopefully show you how to really get the most out of cores and how you can level them up and basically find the best ones. You will receive a core by completing quests in game, defeating behemoths and leveling up your hunt pass. When you get a core, it's basically a loot box. You bring it to one of these shrines and you can unlock it and receive the content. There's lots of different cores you can get. You can get bronze, you can get silver, you can get gold. They're also broken down into other utility cores, or some of them are offensive cores. Utility cores have the chance of giving you resources as well as cells needed to upgrade weapons and armour. Likewise, if the core says it's an offensive core, you're likely to only get offensive cells. As a rule though, if you've got a bronze core, your likelihood is you're going to get 2 uncommon cells. If you've got a silver core, you've got a chance of getting at least a rare core or 2, maybe it's 1 rare and 1 uncommon. And if you open up one of the gold cores, your likelihood is you'll get an epic cell variant as well as a host of either rare or uncommon cells too. As shown here is a bit random and I haven't really got to grips with every single core I've come across just yet, as I'm still learning the game just like you guys, but so far this is what I've found from all of the cores that I have opened. In terms of earning more cores quickly, basically just rank up your hunt pass and also make sure you're completing as many quests as possible. Also, your Slayer level increasing normally gives you a core every other level. They're basically tied to the objectives and your quests that you receive. So all of that is pretty simple and pretty self-explanatory. However, there are lots of categories of cells that you can get, and these are the ones that you're going to be putting into your armour as well as your weapons to improve your stats. You may want armour that protects you against frost. You may want to start taking more damage to monsters' parts. All of this can be upgraded and all of it can be earned so that your character does exactly what you want it to do. You can hold unlimited amount of these cores or cells, so don't worry, you'll always have plenty of room for them, and you can combine and get rid of ones that you just don't have no use for and turn them into something that is useful. That's what the bulk of this tutorial is going to be today, how to combine your cells, how you can speed the process up and what you should and shouldn't be doing while combining them. These cells come in 5 different style perks. You've got defense, you've got mobility, power, technique and utility. Some of your armour and weapons only hold certain style cells, so you can't equip all of these cells on every single piece of armour or weapon. You have to go with exactly what perk it can hold. Take a look at this uncommon cell I have. It's got a chance to do double damage. So this cell is called Cunning and it's part of the technique family. It's got a sword on a target, so any armour or weapons that have a technique slot, I'll be able to equip it. So you get the idea. I will be breaking down each individual family or in each individual perk. But for now we're going to keep things relatively simple and just show you how to upgrade and combine some of these before delving into how and what ones are going to make up better character builds. Once you've unlocked your cores, make sure you go over to the Middleman. If you haven't unlocked him yet or can't talk to him, you need to progress further into the game. But once he's available, open it up and you've got a variety of different things that you can do. The top is basically a store. Each week he's going to have a different choice of cells that he's going to sell you. You can spend real world money, i.e. platinum currency on these, or you can spend Aether Dust. The Aether Dust is obviously the blue swirl. Now you can earn Aether Dust in game, but there's also other ways that you can do it. The main way being getting rid of any cells that you don't want. You're going to collect loads of these cells and some of them really just won't fit your character or your style. Or you may have more powerful ones that you don't need the lesser. By holding the A or the X button depending on what you're playing on, you'll be able to get 10 Aether Dust back. For rare you're going to get 20 Aether Dust and for epic you get 40. So you can see it doesn't cost too much if you want to buy something a little bit more advanced. By getting rid of maybe 8 of the most basic uncommon cells, you'll have enough to get a Vampiric +2 rare cell. Not only does the Middleman convert what cells you have, he also sells cells. Sell cells. Now these 3 cells are the same cells offered to absolutely every player in the game each week. So if you do end up buying all 3, you're going to have to wait until the store resets before purchasing any new ones. After that, you can see you've got some slots. The one in the middle is what you can use to combine your cells to make something more powerful. There are 2 additional slots, but you're going to need platinum to unlock these. You don't need to purchase these as long as you're happy to only have 1 slot, but if you do want to start cooking lots of slots, basically lots of cells together, you may want to spend some platinum if you've got the extra. It's all up to you. Dauntless is obviously a free to play game. They're going to think of ways to try and get you to spend money, and this is one of the ways. So be wary of when you're converting your actual cells. There is a way to speed it up, and I'm going to cover that in a second. But the first extra slot upgrade for making cells is 500 platinum, and the second slot, if you want to upgrade the second one, is 1000 platinum. So that means you'll have 3 slots to fuse together all your cells. So now that's out of the way, let's concentrate on fusing our cells together. These are basically how you cook your cells or combine them. You can see I've got 2 defense cells. They've both got the shield icon, so that means they're both from the same family. If I take 2 defense cells that are exactly the same, i.e. 1 sturdy cell and I had another sturdy cell, I could combine them into a rare cell. Basically combining 2 lesser cells is going to equal a stronger one. Obviously by doing this it means that you're going to have more powerful cells. Click on the slot that's open, then add a cell to the left and to the right, and it will then combine whatever you've got. This takes 24 hours if it's an uncommon cell. It takes 48 hours if it's a rare, and epic take even longer. This is actually real time. You're going to have to come back full 2 days later if you wanted to combine 2 rare cells. There is a way to speed it up, and that's where these chips come in. I've explained what the currencies all do, but the ace chips help with that process. So if I wanted to speed one up, I could spend my ace chips here. It would cost me 21, and I'll speed it up by 21 hours. Again, all pretty self-explanatory, and the game does more or less a good job of telling you. But here's what it doesn't tell you. If you don't have 2 cells that are exactly the same, you can still combine them and you'll get a different result. If you've got a defense cell and you've got a utility cell, by combining them you can receive a random cell. It might not necessarily be one from the defense or from the utility. It'll just give you an option of giving you something else. So by combining 2 1+ cells of different abilities or different types, and you'll receive a 2+ cell with a random perk. If you combine 2 cells that are from the same family, i.e. from defense, even if they've got different perks associated with them, you'll definitely get a 2+ cell within that family. So you'll always guaranteed to get a defense cell back. It's exactly the same process for rare cells. Combining 2 rare cells from the same family, for example 2 power cells, no matter what perk it's got, will always give you that same cell back in the same family. Just now it'll be an epic version rather than a rare. If both your cells from the same family, so maybe from power, but they have different perks, so one gives you extra protection against frost or one makes more damage against monsters, you will end up getting a more powerful version of one of them, obviously in still the power family. You can swap your cells between your weapons and your armor whenever you want. If you've been watching some old guides from PC, you'll know that it used to cost money or in-game currency to do so, but that's not the case anymore. There's a couple last things you need to know about the Middleman and this exchange. If you try combining a level 2 cell with a level 1 cell, he will tell you no. You can only combine cells that have got exactly the same level. You can't craft epic cells into a much more powerful version, but you can swap them over for something that you want different. So if you do have 2 epic cells, it's not necessarily going to create a level 4 cell. Instead, combining 2 of the same family epic cells together is going to give you 1 brand new epic cell back. So if you have got lots of epic cells and you don't want to convert them into Aether Dust, this is a way that you can swap them over and try your chance at getting something else. It's expensive, but at the moment this is the only way that you can swap your epic gear out. Just make sure you don't accidentally turn an epic cell into Aether Dust like I did here. It's really easy, there's no warning. If you hold the A or the X button, it will do that. So that's everything to do with the cells, how to unlock the cores, and where to go and take them to the middleman. But how do they really affect your character? We'll take a look at your perk summary in your loadout. This will list every single attribute, buff and perk that you have, whether or not it's a weapon that's giving you that piece or a piece of armour. By swapping them over, you're going to change basically what your character build is. So ideally you want really high numbers. The higher they are, that means the more perks and powers you've got in your armour and your weapons. When equipping cells to your armour and weapons, obviously each armour set and weapon set is going to have different cells it can hold. My Ember Blades hold technique and mobility cells, so I can obviously only equip them types of cells in the slots. However, my Raging Teeth Blades, they hold technique and utility cells. So don't necessarily get rid of all of your cells that you find not useful. You'll never know when you want to switch up a different weapon because you need to master it to get more XP, and a particular type of cell goes really well with that weapon. A lot of this is going to be just down to how you play and making sure that you've got a lot of cells on standby. It's pretty much a given that you need to get hold of as many epic and rare cells as possible, and whenever you can, try and upgrade whatever you've got. I've got 2 of these Knockout King cells, so I'm going to upgrade them to a more powerful rare Knockout King cell. If there's 2 cells you really don't like, just make sure you combine them and hopefully you'll get something decent. And that's pretty much everything you need to know about cells, cores and what they do for your armour and weapons. Like I said, I'm going to be doing detailed guides, character builds soon, but obviously I want to play around with the game a little bit more and make sure I'm unlocking as many of these cells as possible so I can give you proper detailed explanations about why they're so good. One thing I will say is though, getting parts is the real core of this game. So whenever you come across a cell that says it can deal double damage or it gives you certain perks against certain parts, make sure you keep them. Always make sure they're equipped, as they're likely to give you the resources you need to craft higher gear. And that is it. I am Jade. Thank you for watching. If it's helpful, make sure you like the video. Go and check out my other guides. And like I said, stay tuned for more Dauntless videos coming very soon. Until next time, Ratbags, I'll see you later.